could it be? But me, your man, Louie T, here on the Skill Game, brought to you by Sleeper. We'll get to the Sleeper app here in a bit. But before we do that, let's talk about our first Saturday game of the NFL season. We've got a doubleheader. Bears and Packers will cap off the doubleheader. But the first game of that matinee is the Philadelphia Eagles looking to clinch the NFC East for the second consecutive year. It would be the first time a team has done that in this division since 03-04, when the Philadelphia Eagles did it back with Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid, and company. Eagles got a big win last week at home, snapping a 3-game losing streak versus the Raiders, 31-0, and looking to kind of right the ship, get some momentum, build momentum heading into the postseason, and see if they can't repeat as Super Bowl champions. Meanwhile, the Washington Commanders snapped a losing streak of their own last week in 8 of the 8-game variety, beating the New York Giants 29-21 on the road. And they're seeking their first 2-game win streak of the season. If you can believe that, a team that was a 12-5 outfit, made it to the NFC Championship game a year ago, has not had a 2-game win streak the entirety of the 2025 season. Has been a disaster and nightmare of a season, but a win here against Philadelphia can make things feel a lot better for the Commanders as they look to finish up the season in a strong capacity. So what do the Commanders need to do to win this game? A lot. We've talked about them on this channel, various different platforms, but they did make a roster move. It's a very insignificant one. And just show you this real quick. The Commanders elevated tight end Lawrence Cager from the practice squad. So that's probably in response to being down Zach Ertz last week. I don't know I don't think they made Cager active last week, but he's clearly active this week. I think, okay, that's what it was. We had Colson Yankoff go down with an ankle injury last week. So you didn't have to do anything. You still had 3 active tight ends. This week, you don't have 3. So now you do with Lawrence Cager. He's interesting. I doubt he gets, targeted or anything like that, but he's an athlete. But you don't really want to be asking Lawrence Cager to be blocking in the run game. So it's going to be really interesting to see, what they're going to ask Lawrence Cager to do. You want to get physical. You want to get down and dirty in the trenches. Lawrence Cager isn't the guy you need to be asking to be blocking a defensive end, linebacker, or anything of the sort. So obviously he's going to play special teams. You need 3 tight ends active. He's going to be your 3rd tight end. But with the way they've been trying to get down here of late, getting in a lot of these big, heavy personnel packaging groups, I doubt Cager's on the field. You probably go 2 tight ends and then, jumbo with your tackle, Andrew Wiley. That sounds more feasible than adding Lawrence Cager to the mix. But, we will see if he has a role, if any, in this game. So, look, I've already talked about this ad nauseum, so I don't really want to talk your head off about what the Commanders need to do to win this game, what the Eagles need to do to win this game. It's really simple. The Eagles just need to be themselves. Just don't turn the ball over, run the football, take opportunities when they come, play sound defense. They'll win this game, right? They're the better team, and they're set up to be successful here as long as they don't screw the pooch. For the Commanders, it's not as simple. They're going to have to do things that they haven't done this season, like take care of the football, force some turnovers or a turnover. They're going to have to avoid penalties, something that they struggled with all season, struggled with last week. They're going to have to find a way to create some big plays. The Eagles don't give up a lot of explosive plays because it's going to be hard for them to matriculate the ball down the field on 10, 12, 14 play drives consistently against this stout Eagles defense. So you're going to have to create some chunk plays somewhere in there. Can they do that? Can they establish the run? That's going to be key, because if they can run the football, they will control the pace and time of possession, keep the Eagles offense. Not that their offense is super dynamic, but the defense is so bad. You just want to keep them off the field if at all possible. And again, shorten the game. When you're the lesser of the 2 teams, your objective should be to shorten the game. A longer game favors the better team. So you want to shorten the game, and running the football will help you do that. And if you can get some play action fake off of that, like you did last week, and hit some chunk plays, great. Special teams has to be a must for the Commanders. It's been a must all season, but they've got to win it decisively. A punt return for a touchdown or a big return on kickoffs or punt return would be excellent. It would go a long way in helping this team try and pull the upset. But again, a lot of things have to go right for the Commanders for them to win this game and upset the Philadelphia Eagles. For the Eagles, just be you, and you'll probably win this football game. But if you come in here and you turn it over, you make mistakes, this game will be a lot closer than you would like it to. And anything can happen in the NFL if you allow a game to be close and you allow a lesser opponent to hang in and gain confidence. The Eagles have lost 2 games in the NFC East to lesser opponents already this season. And if they're not careful, they'll make it a third. So we'll see what happens at 5 o'clock at Northwest Stadium with the Eagles and Commanders. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
The skill game brought to you by Sleeper.
All right, so let's dive into the Sleeper app. And before we do that, I just want to go ahead and encourage anyone who isn't one of the over 10 million active users on Sleeper to become a member of the Sleeper family. And it's very simple. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. That will take you to where you can download the app. All you would need to do is first make sure that Sleeper is available in your area. It's available in over 30 states in the US. Then you just verify that you are who you say you are, right? Then they'll give you $20 free just for becoming a member of the Sleeper family. You don't have to bet $5 and win bonus bets or any of that other stuff. Just for becoming a member of the Sleeper family, here's $20. Then on top of that, they've got another offer for you. Use my promo code LTN to get you 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. That's right, a dollar for dollar match. Now you only get to do it once, so I always advise people max it out. Put $100 in, let them match $100, give you an additional $100. That's $200 plus the $20 they've given you for becoming a member of the family. That's $220. You can get active. Trust me, with $220 on the Sleeper app. And then they've got another promotion. Would you look at that? All right. We, in the month of December, are putting together community slips. We're putting the tickets together. You guys are going to help me put the ticket together. And I'm going to ask you to trail that ticket, meaning go over to the Sleeper app, put that exact same ticket that we've put together here today, and in wager, however much, 10, 20, 30, whatever you want to put down on it, 12, 15. And if you win, if we win, right, they're going to have a drawing to give away $100 on the Sleeper app to someone who trails the ticket that we put together today. I'll get into the specifics a little bit here after we put this ticket together. But let's get active. Let's put this ticket together, and let's see if we can't get a winner. Now, I must warn you, everybody's breaking losing streaks, right? Commanders broke a losing streak last week. Eagles broke a losing streak last week. I need to break a losing streak. I have not won in the Sleeper NFL space since September. So we're riding a very hardy losing streak here. I need your help. Help the kid get a dubski. So let's, as you can follow me on the screen here, let's go to the NFL. Click on the Eagles Commanders game, and let's see what we can put together. Not asking for much here. Let's see if they got a deal. So they got Terry McLaurin, 57 yards receiving. They got a boost on that. Does any of us trust Terry to go over 57 yards today? I don't. I don't know about you. I'm not comfortable asking Terry for 57 yards. I should, right? He's a number 1 wide receiver in this league. I should feel comfortable asking him for 57 yards, but I don't. Just because of the circumstances, not necessarily because Marcus is at quarterback. Marcus is more liable to throw him the football than Jaden was this season. But, and with Marcus, he's really been getting Terry the football, honestly. I mean, Terry's in all of Marcus's starts, Terry's actually fared very well. There was the Raiders game, the one he got injured in. Terry, remember, that was a deep ball that Terry caught and ended up, getting hurt on. And I think he had over 60 yards in that game. The Kansas City game, when he came back, Marcus was out there again. And again, Terry was eating, and he got hurt on another deep ball. But Terry was eating that night. He had over 60 yards in that game. The Denver game, Terry played pretty well. That was his best game of the season. And Marcus was out there for it. And then last week, he went over 60 yards again. Had a deep ball touchdown. But all of those teams I just said aren't Philadelphia. So I don't think I'm comfortable asking Terry for 57 yards, although I probably should, because Marcus has been looking him up and they've had a really good connection this season. I think I'm going to steer clear of that. Saquon for 80, and I feel like he's going to get that today. I feel like there's one or two big Saquon Barkley runs in this game, but the Eagles have been so inconsistent running the football that I don't know if I trust it necessarily, but I don't see us stopping the Eagles from running the football in this game. Honestly, I think he's going to have a field day, but we'll see. I don't want to hinge the ticket on guys who haven't been consistent this year, if that makes sense. AJ Brown, 66 yards. Who's stopping AJ Brown from getting 66 yards in this game, right? We have more of a Devontae Smith problem. Let's go. So first of all, this ticket has to include someone on the Commanders rushing total, right? So let's start there. Let's go to rush yards. Bill for 27. That feels like a gimme, right? Now, again, the thing that worries me with Bill is he's not getting 18 carries like he did last week. He may not even get 13 carries in this game. His number may be more around 8 or 9 carries, 7, right? We've seen that when he's sharing the load with C-Rod, his numbers go down significantly. I really believe he's going to get 27 yards rushing, though. Like, if he gets 7 carries, I'm asking him to average 4 yards a carry. I think he's going to get 9 or 10 carries in this game. Again, we'll see. All it takes is one mishap, a fumble, something like that, and he may not get very many carries, right? So I don't think it's risky, though. I like it. I think we should go with Bill. Now, Rodriguez is the one I want to ask you guys about. 42.5 rush yards for C-Rod. If the Commanders are to have any shot in this game, they've got to run the football. C-Rod missed last week's game. I feel like they're going to lean heavily on him today. How do you guys feel about Chris Rodriguez, 43 yards rushing? Almost feels like a slam dunk, even more so than Bill's 27 yards that we need. How do you guys feel about C-Rod and 43 yards today against this Eagles defense? That's not great against the run, first and foremost. They're not great against the run. What says you guys? See, I also want to look at receiving yards and receptions. AJ's at 66 yards. Terry's at 57. Goddard's at 43. We have Dallas Goedert problems too. So both Terry and Devontae are at the same thing at 57 yards, roughly. I'd like to think that Devontae would hit his before AJ hits his. We always have Devontae Smith problems, but both of them could easily eclipse the yards that they're supposed to get today. Like, who's stopping either one of those receivers from getting active, right? Dallas Goedert is he's going to kill us. We get murdered by the tight end usually, and Dallas Goedert usually does serious damage to us. when we play the Eagles. I'm just trying to think over the last month since DQ's been, the defensive play caller, has any tight ends really gotten active on us? Last week, Theo Johnson had a pretty sizable catch over the middle of the football field, but he didn't kill us the way that I thought he was going to. Oh, yeah. Against the Broncos, though, first of all, we gave up 3 touchdowns to the tight ends against the Minnesota Vikings. So, yeah, there's that. And also, Evan Ingram had the catch and run in overtime where he basically ran past our entire defense. So, yeah, I feel pretty confident that Dallas Goedert is going to eat us alive. So we'll take Dallas Goedert on the receiving yards. I feel like Treylon Burks is going to catch the football today. They got him at 13 receiving yards. I don't know if I'd prefer the catches or the yards. I feel like if he gets one catch, it'll be 13 yards. But I can't say that. He could have an 11-yard catch and then not touch it the rest of the game. Let's see where his receptions are. Most of these guys are probably going to be at like 1.5. So they're not going to give you a layup. Like Jalen Lane is at 0.5. Like I'd love if Treylon Burks is at 0.5. He's going to be at 1.5 though. Yeah, there he is, 1.5. I don't know if he's going to catch the ball twice in this game. I feel like he is. I feel like he's going to have a little bit more work this week, but they've got Terry on 4.5. So feels like AJ at 5.5, Devontae at 4.5. Kind of want to stay away from both of those guys, even though one of them, I don't think both of them is going to get us in this game. One of them is going to get us. The question is which one, and that's the thing that I always struggle with is who's it going to be. All right, so far we got Bill. I'm going to go ahead and add C-Rod to this ticket because I just don't see any way that this team comes into this game and doesn't want to run the football. And I expect them to be able to establish that run. Almost feels like Saquon's probably going to get us too in this game. I see the Eagles sticking with the run, and I can see us with no Eddie Goldman, and I don't want to make Eddie Goldman out to be some elite, defender that's on the field 60% of the snaps, because that's not the case, but Eddie helps a lot. They get to those perimeter runs. That's when I think Saquon can hurt us. Feels like he's going to run for more than 81 yards. We're not a stout run defense on the edges, as we know. So I think they'll have some opportunities to run the football against us in this game. But I don't want to bank on Saquon. He's definitely going to do it, but it's not necessary. Just like I really want to go with Treylon Burks having 2 catches today, but that's not necessary. That's how I always get got. I always want to try the thing that I don't need to try, right? See who's in the anytime touchdown category. If the Commanders are to score, it's going to be one of their running backs, it feels like. C-Rod, I can see C-Rod scoring fairly early in this game. Let's go with a C-Rod anytime touchdown. We'll grab an anytime for the Eagles, and then we'll bounce. I wish they had like a Jalen Hurts rush touchdown because I feel like he's going to have a tush-push touchdown in here somewhere. Could they throw an A.J. Brown touchdown? Absolutely. Could they throw a Dallas Goedert touchdown? Absolutely. Feels like AJ is going to get a touchdown receiving in this game. Toss him up here too. Let's see what we got. So we went heavy on C-Rod before, and he didn't play that game. He's going to play today, so we don't have to worry about that. So here's what it looks like. C-Rod, 43 rush yards we'll need him to get. C-Rod, anytime touchdown. Bill, 27 yards rushing in this game. Dallas Goedert, 43 yards receiving in this game. A.J. Brown scores a touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's see if they got any promos for us here. 11% here. Any boost? Sounds good to me. So we'll do that. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm not as confident as I was last week or the week before that, but those weren't winners either. So C-Rod, 43 yards rushing. C-Rod, anytime touchdown. Feels like he's going to score today. Bill, 27 yards rushing. That's the one. If this ticket doesn't hit, that's the one that's going to get me. If they don't give him the football and opportunities enough, or it could be the opposite. C-Rod doesn't get the opportunities coming off the injury. That would be the one that could get me. But I see C-Rod establishing himself early in this game, getting those yards early, then Bill getting his opportunities. If this game goes the way that I think it's going to go in my mind, then you're going to see C-Rod early and often. I think he's going to score early. I think the Commanders are going to score early in this game. Have a nice drive, moving it down the field, good mixture of run and pass, and then you're going to see C-Rod cap it off with a rush touchdown, right? That's what it feels like. Then you get Bill coming in, third possession or so of the game, and then hopefully he's able to immediately come in and get active. But that's the one that I worry about. I don't worry about Dallas Goedert getting his 43 yards. He's going to kill us today, more likely than not. And A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown, is a bit risky, I will admit. But that's the guy that when we've played against the Eagles in the past, that's the guy that they like to go to in the red zone, and we haven't been able to stop him. So if they get down there again, and they like to take vertical shots to him, and I don't see like any of our corners stopping him from being able to make a play on a vertical shot. If they decide they get one-on-one and Jalen Hurts likes the look, I could see them going vertical to A.J. Brown and him making a play, which is why I probably should take A.J. Brown's receiving yards, because I think he's going to catch a vertical shot. But it could easily be Devontae that catches the vertical instead of A.J. So anyway, I digress. So that's the ticket. Going to submit it. Bam. So this is what it looks like. So here's what I want you to do. All right. So all of these directions are also in the description of this video. All right. We're going to go through it here. So that's the ticket. You're staring at it. Dallas Goedert, 43 yards. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown. C-Rod, 43 yards rushing. C-Rod, anytime touchdown. Ja'Cory Crosky Merritt, 27 yards rushing. Once again, Dallas Goedert, 43 yards receiving. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown. Chris Rodriguez, 43 yards rushing. Chris Rodriguez, anytime touchdown. Ja'Cory Crosky Merritt, 27 yards rushing. So what you do is you input that exact ticket into the Sleeper app. So you trail that ticket. So you trail that ticket right there on Sleeper, right? That's step one. Step two is email a screenshot of your picks. That community ticket that we just put together. That right there. You're going to email a screenshot of those picks to hmaSleeperPicks@gmail.com. That's hmaSleeperPicks@gmail.com. All right. That is what you're going to do. These picks, once again, right here. Goddard, 43 yards receiving. A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown. C-Rod, 43 yards rushing. C-Rod, anytime touchdown. Bill, 27 yards rushing. And you're going to trail that ticket on Sleeper. That's step one. Step two, you're going to email a screenshot of your picks. That community ticket that we just put together right there. You're going to email that after you've submitted it on your account to hmaSleeperPicks@gmail.com. sleeperpicks.com. If we hit, they're going to pull a winner. Somebody. Look, if you're the only person to trail the ticket and it hits, guess what? You're getting $100 on the Sleeper app. So go in, input the picks. Let's get us a win. And you might win twice. You might win twice. Who doesn't love free? Shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this stream. That, my friends, is the Skill Game. Brought to you by
The
Sleeper.
Skill Game, brought to you by Sleeper.
All right, so now we do have a super chat real quick that we will get to before we get out of here. My guy, Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Door Gunner writes, my dog, Rhodey, said he better never run into you. Hey, I don't want no smoke, Rhodey. I don't want no smoke. He says he is tired of you waking him up with your atrocious singing. Might be old, but he can still throw down. Hey, look, man, if I ever met Rhodey in person, I would sing to him. I don't want no smoke, though. Tell Rhodey, we good, man. No beef over here. Tell Rhodey it's all love, man. But tell Rhodey I said, hey, it's all love on this end, man. Anyway, I digress. You guys enjoy the festivities today. A lot of football, right? You got college football on right now. You got NFL coming on here in a couple of hours. And you got a doubleheader. And it's two, divisional matchups, some family business being conducted at 5, some more family business being conducted at 8:30 or so. So a lot of good football today. That Packers and Bears game going to have division implications. So hopefully you'll be kicking it with the LouieTeeNetwork the vast majority of the day, because if you're a member of the mob, we'll be live for the game. Once it's done, I'll be live after the game to break it down, and then we'll be live after the Bears-Packers game. So look forward to chopping it up with you all throughout this Saturday as we get so close, ever so close, inching dangerously close to Christmas Day, where there will be more football, a triple header on Christmas Day. It's a disappointing triple header now with all the injuries and how the season has gone. Man, Netflix thought they were killing it with that triple header. Vikings and Lions was supposed to be really good. Those two teams won, 29 combined games last regular season, and we're duking it out for the #1 seed late in the season last year. That is, neither one of those teams right now, if the playoffs started today, would be in the postseason. Literally, both of those teams could be on the outside looking in. The Vikings aren't going to the playoffs, but the Lions, which are the surprising team, may not be going either. We'll see what happens down the stretch for them. And then you've got, the Commanders and the Cowboys. They were hoping both of those teams would be good. Not so much. Neither one of them are going to the postseason. And then the biggest disappointment is probably the Chiefs and Broncos. The Broncos held up their end of the bargain, but to see Mahomes not be active out, for the foreseeable future, and to have Gardner Minshew starting that game is not what anybody could see happening. And yikes, that triple header on Christmas Day went from, oh man, this looks like a great slate, to, hey, what NBA games are on Christmas Day? You got a lot of people asking. So we'll see. I expect the NFL to still do numbers because that's what the NFL does. But if there's some good NBA action on, who knows? We could see the NBA threaten the NFL for one of the very few times on a Christmas Day, because I can tell you right now, those games don't really inspire much. Anyway, so I digress. You guys have a good one. Take care. See you guys next time. Let's see if we can get us a win. Peace.